On the floor.
I know. I hate to do it in bars all the time.
You're stalking me.
I know. I'm obsessed. Sorry about that. I'll stop. Probably ex-military. There's a good chance that he is. Maybe even Army. Because they just couldn't let it go. It's very difficult doing what I do. It's not like easy. I'm running a business that makes like $200 a year at times, but it has the ability to make $200 million a year. He's running a business about the same. He's competing with Google, just like we all are. And Google's a very powerful company because they have more money than Apple. They're in first place. So when they get that way, they start throwing out lawsuits and stuff. I'm sure it happened with Bradley Cooper on his rise to $170 million. But it's cool to have multi-millions. You know, it's even cool to have multi-billions. But you know what's even cooler than that? To have multi-trillions. And there are trillionaires on their way right now. Whether you're listening to one, I don't know. But they're on their way out there today. There's going to be people that are going to be trillionaires because of a lot of different things. I don't only use this. Okay, it would be easy if I did. I use another mapping system, which is Google. So I use Google Maps and I use this. And this line of work, you can't rely on Apple really that much. I have used Apple before, Apple Maps, but I use Google and I use this. That's what I use. Jesus Christ. The thing I love about Facebook is what it is. It's the same thing Martin Luther used to, you know, nail up his thesis, you know, up on the freaking church, or 99 of them or something like that, or more than that or something. Anyway, nobody really knows how many there were, but he nailed them to the church wall so Rome would know that there's a guy that meant business. He's willing to be burnt for it, and that was Martin Luther. He used something very similar to Facebook. It was called a printing press, and that's what Facebook has become. There are Jedis out there that kind of like fuck with your mind. Excuse my language, but this is real stuff, because he cusses too, okay? So supposedly, I was seen on ADT cameras or on a camera probably cussing someone out. Yeah, I probably did it because people pull out guns and it gets nervous and you don't want to, you know, it gets... There it goes. There's information. YouTube pixelates. So they have compressed their files by 1 second. You have to get it very, very clear, or they can pixelate it. It's like a FPIU, a Ford Police Utility Interceptor, coming from a security company called Smith Protective. Their thing is C00217, and they do have a license plate, and he is dodging. That's called dodging in the police business. He just moved over the second one right there. Trying to get a clear shot. That will be filed away. But alright. Good. So anything that's PO lice, you do what I did at the hospital when we got trespassed from Texas Harris Health Medical, or it's actually Texas Harris Health Hospital, Southlake. Okay. You get the badge, rank, association, and the title. The badge, I got their badge numbers. The rank, they were patrol officers. I got the association, Southlake Police. And I got their names. Only their last names. I didn't get their full names so they didn't get busted. So if you do that, then they're out. That's it for them. They either leave or they get the noose kind of thing. You know what I mean? They're like out. The BRAT, the brat, which is what they are, and there's Army brats too. They're out at that point. They're behind a paper. They're behind a desk doing paper. I always go back to a central point. So we'll go back to where we were, right over there by Apple Computers. All right. Uber, I'm doing the big D. I call it the big D. Y'all know what that is. Now, Uber is political, and you always have to file an appeal. If you've worked for Uber, then you filed an appeal before with Uber. Then you got to wait. I did file one with the big D because they let me go. Okay? And then I had to file one. I delivered pizza for a whole year, and then I don't know if they know about that, but when you file it, then they rehire the appeal. If you just tell them, hey, look, this didn't happen or whatever. With Uber, it's going to be something like a complaint. It's going to be something crazy, okay? You want to have your own video proof of what you're doing when you're doing a platform job. That can be Favor. It can be Uber. It can be Grubhub, okay? It can be the big D, all right? But you don't want to show sensitive information. Linda and I got let go because of that. So you don't show sensitive information. That didn't happen with Revamp. Not that I know of. But I did show Sales Rabbit, and I did show Redfin. I can show Redfin all I want. I can show it right now. I can also show Sales Rabbit for my own protection. Because I don't know anything that much about Sales Rabbit, but I can show it on my own for my own protection. All those new homeowners and stuff are going to be on Redfin. So, sensitive information that might see as sensitive information, but it's not like sensitive, like a person's name kind of thing. They don't like that on the big D. Now, I have not been able to really monitor Uber from an internal aspect of things, which I'm doing now. This is interior, right? So it's internal. With Uber, you only saw the big buildings of Dallas. That was pretty much all that was done with Uber, but it shows location. And I was using a Samsung 8 for Uber. So that's what I used, the Samsung 8. That's what I used to kind of start the show. And on my Samsung 8, I got a lot of views on a few of the posts that Linda and I did on the film called The Filmmakers. I wrote one called The Filmmakers as a ghost story. So it was kind of a love story, but also a ghost story. And it's also a comedy. And we did an improv scene called Hurricane Scene, Beach Ball Hurricane Scene. The Beach Ball Hurricane Scene. And that got like, I don't know, I haven't checked on it lately. I'm going to check on it and see how it's doing. And then that was just an improv scene. But when it comes to like studying your work or your platform, just don't try to show complete personal information. But you can show things for your own protection. That's what we all do nowadays. Okay, Hurricane Beach Ball Scene. It's from The Filmmakers. So that has done well. It's got 13,000 views. The last time I checked on it, it had 9,000 views. So it might get to 1 million views. It's called a Hurricane Beach Ball Scene. It's a scene from The Filmmakers. And if Hollywood grants me the right to be their next Cassavetes, then I will turn that ghost story, which Cassavetes really didn't do ghost stories. He did almost like borderline documentaries. They were like narrative documentaries. But I will turn that into a love story about a ghost. I love Ghost with Demi Moore. But I don't know if it'll be that cheesy. I want to make it kind of theatrical, like it's almost like a play. I like the idea of doing movies that are like plays. They almost look like a play. They're like on a play set or like a stage set. That's how I'd want to do a lot of my stuff because I've written a lot of plays. So The Filmmakers would be like on a studio set. That would be cool. All right, we're going to see the tall buildings in a minute. I'll get over this Connor Parker Army stuff, but always say their name. Because if they go after you, because people have gone after social media people. Okay, it's literally street art, So we'll see buildings here in a minute. But anyway, I saw one of the great street artists out here in Fort Worth a long time ago, probably like in the late 90s. And then it might have been in the turn of the century. But he could lay down cardboard and he'd get like a spray paint can. And he could do these like photographic paintings that look like photos. And it was unreal. And he would sell the paintings right there in the art festival right there in the street. I don't even think it was an art festival. I'm sure the cops got involved. But he would make $5 here, and then $10 here, you know. My friend David Yeakel, who was a mime, because I've done mime. I always say it wrong, but mime. He got arrested by the police. Yeah, so he left the sidewalk in handcuffs. Most likely because of Johnny Simons. Johnny Simon was the Navy. I don't really consider him a mime. I think he's kind of like a wannabe director. He's also kind of yelled at people. So I've always told people to get their head out of their ass, you know. And he never really got his head out of his ass. He thinks he's hot stuff, and he's a real pretentious director called Hip Pocket Theater. He's probably crying right now. I don't give a fuck. I'm sick of this Army-Navy shit. I got away from my dad. Now I got to get away from a crazy mime that, like, has a problem with people. Big Marlon Brando fan. Marlon Brando was never in the military. They tried to put him in West Point. He escaped the fucking military and joined the theater. He was a real actor. They put him in West Point. He didn't kill anybody. He just stole their Liberty Bell. And then he shit in their bushes and said, fuck off. So that's what he did. He was not military. He did it to protect himself and his sisters. Unfortunately, I lost my sister because of the military. I don't consider any military a true artist. I consider them like freaking, you know what, the big H out in Germany. I don't want to mention his name, but they try to be artists, but you cannot be an artist if you're killing people with a gun. You become a psycho instead. And that's what the Army is. They're psychotic sickos. Sorry, I just wanted to make... All right. Sorry about that, Johnny Simons. But he wasn't an asshole director, though. He'd yell at you and scream like the top of his lungs. I'm like, I'm not in the fucking military, dude. We're just trying to do a mime show. You know? David Yeakel would yell at people, too. But they did arrest David Yeakel. I do blame Johnny Simons for that, by the way. Because he told me the story. That's where the story came from. Johnny Simons was Navy. Cold War Navy, so that kind of thing. But hey, fine, just don't worry about it. He's not going to be yelling at me anymore, that's for sure. I'm sure his little daughter might get pissed, but it's not like she helps me. I sent them my play and they ignored me, but I did find a theater to do it. It's not around here. It's thousands of miles from here. Yeah, you had to turn on your own kind. And that was a memorized line. You had to turn on your own kind, and that was a memorized line. The thing true about Johnny Simons is he always tries to get with your pussy. Just tell him, hey, listen, bad kitty. All right, we're done with that. That's enough of that. Got it out of the way. I think I betrayed almost everybody. So we're on our way. They could be secretly Christian, so don't worry about it. They do some good theater out in Hip Pocket. But sometimes it's a little pretentious and slow. They do Waiting for Godot and shit like that. But I'll get back to it later. This is my freaking theater. All right, we found it at Flower Child. We're coming up this way, and here we go. We got a lot of weight to lose. Flower Child. You got to be a dork doing it, and be the biggest dork you can. Money's just paperwork. Tastes like oranges. Oh no, it's not working. Did you hear the song? It's some bitch that got psychological with you. You know what? I think it is working. I hate musicians that leave psychological messages in your head. Wish they'd get jobs. All right, there they are. Heirloom carrots or mac and cheese, gluten-free. Let's get hippie. Man, I'm gonna check through that one. There and there. That, my friend, is I don't listen to your Jedi Jewish bullshit. I'll just Cassavetes your ass. Or I'll just Cassavetes your ass. Chinese bookie, baby. Chinese bookie. The death of. Listen, motherfucker. I can go to the police and tell them what you thought, because I'm telepathic. So if you have that thought again, they'll come and get you for premeditated murder. I don't care if you were in the army. It goes for both of you. 5.6 miles next delivery. The weather's changing. And don't get too stuck on imagery, or you won't be able to do the vlog at all. The imagery and the George Lucas and all that kind of stuff is Aeschylus. It doesn't work well in vlog. Euripides works well in vlog. Worry about the story only and the thoughts behind the story. Don't worry, and what you say. But you can talk about delusion or whatever you want to talk about, but don't go for the imagery too much, because then you're just a photographer only, and people are like, you want to try to talk to people, even if they hear their voice. A lot of people listen to a vlog show to listen to a voice, to listen to an actor. Okay. But don't fear the imagery, is what I'm saying. You can still capture it. I wouldn't just focus on just imagery, or then you don't see the person or the human, you know? You can see the human performing the task of the vlog through just how they're holding whatever, the camera, or how they're speaking in it. You can still hear their voice. Think of a radio show and a movie at the same time. You can also use these devices too to help you overcome, you know, what they call it, big tech. I forgot the name they use. Big tech, I think, is the name, right? Apple being one of them for sure, right? They can overpower a lot of stuff, so you have to be careful. Google is in first place right now, so I think they should fear that a little bit. I think they would, because money is a big deal. You know, Apple used to be in first place. I'm surprised that they got beat. So they're second place. So they fear Google now. They're like Google, and their eyes get really big. And who has the best cameras right now? They're saying the Pixel is really good, and that's a Google phone. A lot of people actually have Pixel phones now. I don't trust it. I only trust this phone. I don't care if I got mad at a Jewish army guy. That's no big deal, because he can grow up and get literate. You know what I mean? He knows not to sue other people. Jesus taught him that, and Jesus was Jewish. That's what I'm trying to say, you know? Leave him alone. Be friends with the Jew. If I do side by side, I'll tell you this. This map is going to the left, while Google is going to the right. That's a big map difference. That goes to the left, Google goes that way. All right, now we get all Star Wars. I was incorrect. Kia is correct on this one. So Google went to the left, and they readjusted and went to the, Google was going to the right. Now they're going to the left. So this was still okay. All right, sorry about that. I didn't mean to falter Kia. They could possibly be future cop cars. You can imagine a world where you get pulled over by a Kia. But could you imagine how pissed off the Vietnam vets would be? They'd check out. There'd be a gunfight. They would only want to be pulled over by a Ford or a Chevrolet. And they're pulled over by a Kia? That'd be like being pulled over by a Honda. Oh, shit. Who drives Hondas? Drug dealers. They do it too. Just give me a second. There's not as much dog shit in new homeowners' front yards. Sometimes. Actually incorrect by one digit. Just let her laugh all the way to the grave. Because I can hear you, kid. You cunt. What happens is, if someone's trying to sue you, then someone needs to go to their rabbi and tell them to calm down. If it's a Catholic person that's trying to sue you, then they need to go to their priest and tell them to calm down. If it's a Protestant that's suing, then they need to go to Jesus and ask Jesus for mercy so that they can calm down, okay? They all need to go to Jesus, all three of them. Because I know Jeremy Renner is a great actor. When I say go to Jesus, I mean they need to pray to Jesus. They need to pray to Jesus, because if they don't, they could meet him, and they don't want to meet him. He could be here at any moment. Yeah, they don't want to meet Jesus. Jesus, when he comes back, is coming back with a sword, and he's not going to be very nice. The first time he came back, he was a servant. He was like a nice guy. He gave people bread, all kinds of stuff. Next time, he's coming back with a sword, and he ain't going to be afraid of that right there, because that'll be blinking white and green. Remember, the red covers the blue. No, that's incorrect. The blue covers the red. That's why it makes them sad. We're saved by the blood of Christ. The blue covers the red. The blue is what makes them sad. It makes them very sad because it covers the blood of Christ. So the blue covers the red. We're saved by the blood of Christ. That's what the red is. The blue is what makes it sad. It does not allow the red to flourish, so that we know that we're saved by the blood of the Lamb. That's how Daniel Kopecks thinks. Daniel Kopecks is a character in a novel called Rib, or parentheses, dog night out, close parentheses, shepherd. All right, let me say it again. Daniel Kopecks is a character. He's an evil villain. He's a serial killer in the novel that I wrote, that I'm still writing. Rib, parentheses, or dog night out, close parentheses, dash, shepherds of Alaska. That's the name of the novel that's being written. I'm on like chapter 105 or something like that. It's only about 105 pages maybe, or it could be the double that. It could be 210. I don't know how to count what a page is, so it could be between 100 to 200 pages. But it may end up more, so it could end up 200 chapters. Rib out, motherfucker. Right, first bomb successful. We are winning. Now, we got to find Mellow Mushroom, which is past TXU, which is going to be in this area. Pretty much Texas Christian University, about right here. Okay, Fort Worth, Texas. This is where the West begins. Rib out. Personal knowledge. From personal knowledge, from personal knowledge, okay, let me get it right. I've studied. From personal knowledge, a police officer has no respect for human life when it comes to a doctor telling them to trespass someone that's in pain and needs to be seen medically. Could you imagine if you were having a child and a police officer went in there with a gun and trespassed you and your wife from the hospital to have the child on the sidewalk? That'd make national news. It's no different than what they did to Linda and I at Texas Harris Health. Or is this Texas Health? Texas Health Harris Methodist. You got to get it right to get them. You cast a spell on them, literally. So it's Texas Health Harris Methodist Hospital in Southlake. And I got their names and sent it to the FBI. They have no respect for human life. And when a police officer has no respect for humanity, they came from California, and they have no respect from humanity. One possibly went to an academy in Hancock, but when I asked him, he said, I studied at Cock. And I don't care his sexual orientation, because they have no respect for human life. They will sit them down. They will get them to turn in their badge and their lethal sidearm, and they can walk away. Or they can face freaking dog night out, man. Dog night out. There's a lot of people that know that dog night out is real. And the first thing that they're going to try to do, it's the same thing with Inglourious Bastards. Whenever he goes, we don't like it. Right? And it won't be a star carved right here in their forehead. It won't be that. That wasn't very clear, Cole Spivey. Fuck you, that's my clarity. All right, Texas Christian University. So, in most cases, you can't deny medical health. If someone is like in labor or if they're in pain, you can't deny them medical help. They may have Tourette syndrome, or there might be a problem. You can't just deny them medical help. That happened to us at Texas Health Harris, or it's Texas Harris Health Medical. I'm gonna get the exact name, Southlake. It's basically Texas Health Harris Methodist Southlake. I believe it goes Texas Health Harris Methodist Southlake. They denied us, or they refused. They would not allow us to get medical treatment, and came in there with guns, and we had to leave. Or they would basically apprehend us and possibly even kill us over medical. This is a medical issue, because Linda was having a horrible eye pain, and we went to the ER. I went to that same ER months before because I thought I broke my foot, and they basically helped me. They treated me. They treated me with respect. They served me respect. They treated me, is what I meant to say. They treated me, and there was no problem. The only reason they did that is because my father does not honor and respect his son, which is I am his son, and he lives in that area. He does not respect, he's not fair to me. And he sent those police officers in his heart. He did it with his own heart, with his own hatred, to basically almost in a way end us. Because, hell, he just doesn't like life. This is Mellow Mushroom right here. Oh, they put a Mellow Mushroom thing on there. Cool. They put a thing on the front of it. Oh, awesome. They painted a whole thing. Oh, and they saved my spot. Look at that, Daddy. See what happens to good people? All right. Thanks a lot. He's Darth Vader. So they added this new sign right here. That's been added. As I can tell that things are different. And then the TC purple's there too. Oh, retard. Yeah. What they get for talking shit about me. Work on it, liquor. Get yourself all liquored up, baby. And go do a Stage West show. Maybe you can be in Sherlock Holmes and talk like a British person like this. Oh, could you pass me that cup of tea, please? Oh, and also another thing. Remember that an elevator's a lift. And say secretary rather than secretary. I did want to go see Sherlock Holmes, Ghost of the Machine. I'm a big Sherlock Holmes fan. But here's the thing. I really like their Annie Baker stuff, the Aliens. And I also like out in Dallas when they did Annie Baker's flick at Undermain and Deep Ellum at that theater. Next delivery, 8.9. You've got a bitch out there that's calling you a retard, or you got a bitch out there that's calling you whatever. Who cares what she thinks? What does that have to do with all the tea in China? Who gives a shit? You know? She's probably a retard herself. Who cares? It doesn't matter if you're a retard. I think retards are cool. And they're good in bed, too. So who gives a shit? I dated this Catholic chick. She ran off and she hid somewhere in this neighborhood over here when I was in high school in 1993. Pretty much like 93. And when I was in college, trying to focus on college. And all she did was torture me. That's because she was Catholic, you know? Those Catholic bitches are the worst. You got to find yourself a Protestant, you know, just like Stephen King said. Or, you know, maybe a Jew. One of the things is those Catholic bitches, she hid like right over there in someone's house and stuff because she wanted complete freedom. Let her have it. You know, she needed to talk to her priest about, am I going to burn in hell? Yeah, you're going to burn in hell. You better get on your fucking knees, bitch, and pray to Jesus. My favorite part of the show, her name was Jennifer Quarles. Her last name was Quarles. And her father was a physicist at TCU. And I tried to help him with his algebra because he didn't understand any algebra. Yeah, their whole family are a bunch of hicks. Hey, listen, when Jennifer Quarles loses her father and she's no longer daddy's little girl, you know what she's gonna be? Who used Jennifer Quarles? You know who used her? Richard Linklater. They also say Richard Linklater or something like that. He's a filmmaker out in Austin. He used her. Watch my mouth for a minute, watch. Watch it, go double one. Just like Ethan Hawke. Alright. Just like Star Wars, right, George Lucas? You fucking faggot. He did American Graffiti, I know he's got a humor. Spielberg's fine, fuck him. Just fuck it. You gotta get them out of your head. You can't be your heroes, you gotta be you. Look at that thing right there. You try to mimic another artist, it's the worst thing in the world. You just gotta be you. But things do remind me of Star Wars. The sounds of things remind me of Star Wars. If you listen, it sounds like fucking Star Wars, doesn't it? Long, long time ago, huh? What's that mean? These maps are something else, aren't they? It's run by Kia, right there. All right, so Linda worked right where it says for lease. It was a German restaurant called Edelweiss, or Edelweiss, like the song, Edelweiss, Edelweiss. It was German. There was a piano player there that we met and took photos and stuff. The manager got kind of mad, but she worked there, and there's a police station right there. And he threatened to call the police on Linda, so we had to make a very dramatic exit. All right, Google says to go straight. Kia says to turn where, though? It wants me to turn right here. Kia says to turn right there. Google says to go straight. It'll reroute. It'll keep telling me wrong. Google says to go straight. Kia has me turning. The next one's Ewing. Kia is going to reroute again. And Google says to turn in 350 feet, 250 feet, 150 feet. Only a sniper could do that. At least they're looking at a device. Then we go this way. I'm writing a novel about snipers. It's called Rib. All right. And then we go straight this way. We're going to find, okay, still going straight here. And Google has been going right up this way. So we've got some discrepancy. Turning Williams Road, or turning onto Williams Road. And they have me going a different direction. Oh, no, I'm wrong. I see. The other map says correctly. They split, though. They're not exactly like Google. They need to change that. They have to make an agreement with Google, or they can make an agreement with Apple. They're going to have to get on board with their mapping system, and all the car companies deal with this. They are correct on this turn, and that's one thing I'm going to be monitoring. Be monitoring this company. And we're going to see if they're going to become cop cars or anything at all. And probably within 30 days is the next show or so. If I feel that they're not right for me, then I'll leave. I'll still buy Kia cars, but only because I'm going to make them cop cars in the new Liberty Party. And I'll be knocking on your door, bitch, because you don't want to go to hell. We're keeping an eye on this. Both of them pretty much are sane to turn on plantation. You can see it right here. So that's correct. Sorry, I have to wear these glasses, so it sounds like my nose are being pinched. Then we go to Lana. You can tell the difference now, can't you? Yeah, you pay attention to detail, don't you? That's where the devil lies. Cover of my book will probably have a German Shepherd and a guy with a sniper rifle. Like Jed Wilson. And it'll be in Alaska in the snow. That'll be one cover. If she wants to work on it, then she can suck my... Yep, right there. Dave's Hot Chicken sounds familiar. Say Wingstop. Then there's Dave's Hot Chicken's a hot spot. I think. Dave's Hot Chicken. Dave's Hot Chicken. Wingstop. Taqueria. Gus World's Famous Chicken. Yeah, don't watch my show. It's so, I'm like Kubrick. It's I can't think of it right now. Subliminal. Yeah, it's subliminal. Yeah, don't watch it. You'll want to eat Gus Chicken. Gus World's Famous Chicken. Gus World's Chicken. I see it. Gus World's. No, Gus Famous Chicken. No, it's not that. I got it. Gus's World's Famous Chicken. Okay. Famous Chicken. They create tension. So you have sinful behavior in your past. When you're young, that's set in there to create tension throughout your entire life to the moment you die. You have to say, fuck you, Jennifer. On Dog Night Out, you'll meet fucking death, bitch. Now, do I mean that? No, I don't mean that. But I have to say it, right? Because it's in my novel. So fuck you and your family. Faith, hope, love, and charity. You'll go to hell. Now I run from you, cunt. Forgot that we weren't communist. We have freedom of speech. So she fucked me over really bad in high school. She fucked me over real bad. And so she forgot. Oh, wait a minute. She did a thing on McCarthyism. She wrote a paper on McCarthyism in my bed, pretty much right after she fucked me. And then she used my Smith Corona. We fucked all the time, like 10 times a night. And the Smith Corona, we used a Smith Corona word processor. She did all of that. She wrote up on McCarthyism. She was hoping that our country would turn into a communist country. Nope, you're wrong. Fuck you and your husband and your children that you don't have. Pick station right up here, right behind Burger Street, right there. Shampoo, shampoo, shampoo. Show bear. All right, we got one at a Japanese restaurant about right here. 2.4 miles. All right, I missed it. I missed the bomb strike. It's 1.4 miles or 1.4 miles. That's how you call them. It's Japanese. Run it this way. And also, you want to get some really good tennis shoes if you're going to do this kind of work. I got these dress shoes on right here. They're pretty comfortable though. That's it right there, Hashi. And listen, hey Jennifer, she likes to be spit on. And I don't mean real spit. Okay. Fixed it. There we go. Yep. That's fire department. Just like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Marco's Pizza. Guess who's going to take on Texas Chainsaw Massacre? A YouTuber known as Curry Barker. He did a movie called Obsessed. He made it through YouTube. They're going to give him Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. Faggots are. You're like the Marine faggots. Appreciate it. Thanks so much. What was your name? What was your name? Kim. Thank you, Kim. They lagged it by 8 minutes. All right, 7.6 next delivery. So my desire is to get every single police officer that's involved in the drug trade apprehended and arrested in one night. It's going to be called the Night of the Big D, as in DEA. They'll get them all in one night. So good night, copy, piggy poo. So this one night thing where they raid all the cops in one night that are in the drug trade should make national news. We're talking about thousands of cops being arrested in one night because of the drug trade that are involved. DEA cops, maybe even corrupt FBI, corrupt police officers, all that kind of stuff in one night. Someone filmed me in the Marco's Pizza just now. I have no idea why. What happens when you hurt somebody that remembers? I only give so many chances now. So you win, I lose. I tried to be passionate and love. I tried to be a good husband and a good father. But I like the way squirrels move. I like the way squirrels eat the ground. And I want to know why squirrels exist. They're lovely animals, and I lost because I was interested in squirrels. In the literature world, the squirrels are basically the prostitutes. Actors are, or they say they are, but they're really not. They're really not. Pot smoking people that are in the drug trade, they always get their way. No one's going to bust them. No one's going to bust the corrupt cops that sell drugs. No, it's never going to happen in a million years. Not until pigs fly. I was saying leave it door. And I was supposed to go around that thing, and I didn't. It was a U-turn. I mean, I was supposed to go around the thing, not U-turn. So you got to look at the gray lines, and then you got to look at the green lines. I guess I messed up. Right, guys, after this pizza delivery from Marco's, I'm going to go ahead and call it. I think it's better to do that. It's better to call it after that because you're still getting warmed up and get practice. Get to where you're really good and you can move like a freaking Olympiad. And also, I need also lose a little bit of weight. I worked for Hyson's for about a year, which is coming up. I gained probably about 30 pounds working for him and eating his free pizza. That's it right there. That's Hyson's Pizza. Nizza Pizza, as they call it. That's it right there. That's Nizza Pizza. And I think I gained about 30 pounds there. I was about 190, and then I left. I don't know. 200, 210, about 220 maybe. And then I gained a little more weight working for Revamped. It's stressful, and then you got all those gas station stops. You want to eat hot dog. All right. They're building something right here on the corner. Right here. There it is. Right next to the cemetery. Do you know the difference between a cemetery and a graveyard? A graveyard is connected to a church. Let's see here. Oh, they're in control of everything, aren't they? Look at that. Rosemary's Baby kind of control. Look at his eyes. What did you do to his eyes? Look at his eyes. What did you do? What did you do to his eyes? And they're all like saying, hell, S-A-T-A-N. Look at his eyes. Then now a coincidence, Sharon Tate gets it. You know what I mean? What did you do to his eyes? Wonder what color his eyes were. You can kind of see it in the movie, right? They're kind of like snake eyes. Roman Polanski likes my show, but he's a Christian. Rockwood go-karts. Hey, when it's raining really hard and you're like in a hurry, get in this middle lane or even to the left. It gathers water ponds right here, and you'll start to hydroplane. It's important to watch my show. Next delivery point. Smacking. There's the Rose Theater. It's a Latino arts theater right there. It's known as the Rose. Right there. Worth, the home of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, the only decent friends around here. Paul Newman and Robert Redford. Still learning the director. I looked it up a few times. He also did The Sting. I'm still learning him, but The Sting is awesome. The Sting is Paul Newman and Robert Redford as well. Which one did he make first? That's also what I'm learning too. I'm going to guess he probably, maybe it did Butch Cassidy, but I know he won the Academy Award for The Sting. So it seems like he would do The Sting later. We'll find out.